Let's talk about why we are here, Char. So we are here with the brilliant, talented, amazing, remarkable, award-winning, all the things. And I know how much you love that. I love that.
Somebody, you interviewing somebody else?
My friend,
Somebody else?
Charmagne Tripp. We're here to talk about this reboot. We're here to talk about this reboot. So I want to know everything. So, you know, to have a reboot, we had to start from somewhere to get to here. So let's talk about what is the reboot? What does that mean to you? Because people are familiar with the language reboot. What does that mean to you, for us?
So for me, I am, let me take a deep breath. What does the reboot mean to me? Right now, the reboot is one of the most important things in my life. For many years, I've had a career for over 25 plus years, performing in almost every kind of cover band.
25?
25.
Hey, grown.
Many cover bands, neo soul, swing, R&B, funk, jazz, pop, you know, those kind of cover bands. More wedding gigs than I can count. And doing some international, overseas residencies, which have been really great. I sang on more rap demos that I can count.
That's so funny.
And it was all good. It was great. But then after a while, I got a little burnt out.
Okay.
And I think it might have been a combination of the work and a combination of, to be honest, my stamina.
Okay.
Getting older. Also just not kind of realizing what I wanted, like, you know, getting money, but not really experiencing the type of creativity and expression that I wanted.
Was that gradually or suddenly you felt aware of it?
Oh, that's a really good question. I think the decision felt subtle to some people, but I do think it was gradual.
Okay.
I think when I can remember when I started telling folks, I'm retiring from this thing, and people were like, what are you talking about, retiring? And this, you know, this is your gift.
I feel like I ignored you. I was like, oh, okay.
You did a couple people.
Sure. I mean,
a couple people did, but I was tired.
Okay.
And I don't even know if it was tired as much as weary. Like I was just like, I don't know if I can put this equipment in the car one more day and drive, or if I can talk to another promoter, or if I can call another rehearsal, or if I could figure out a new way to sing this song. Like I just was kind of done. And not only the moment that I knew I was actually needed a break was when I was angry that I was getting invited to do things that 20 years earlier I had hoped and prayed to do.
Oh my goodness.
That was wild.
Oh my goodness. I really appreciate that you made the distinction between not tired but weary and this, because it really points to a disconnect. Like you're doing something that you love, that you do well, that brings people joy, and it didn't feel good to you anymore. So it was missing something. And so the reboot came after some time and space.
It did, you know, so a little bit before the pandemic, you might remember I was talking about I'm retiring.
There was a before the pandemic.
It was before the pandemic. I was like, I'm going to shift. I'm going to focus on coaching and mentoring artists because I didn't want to leave the scene. I just didn't want to have to be responsible for anything that I didn't want to be responsible or have to show up in a way. I didn't want to be responsible for people's, you know, making sure that they made money that night. It wasn't a thing I wanted to be responsible for.
Okay.
I just kind of wanted to be in creative for the sake of being creative.
Yeah.
So, you know, we started, you know, Grit Productions in 2013. And so I thought, you know what, I'm really going to take this in a mentorship direction and really focus on supporting other artists and backing shows and showing up for other people. And so that was actually really fulfilling.
That's awesome.
And then the pandemic hit.
And did it hit? It changed everything.
It changed everything. But what it actually, and the pandemic was absolutely awful. It was horrible. It wrecked my nervous system.
I like this disclaimer.
A lot of people, it is a disclaimer. A lot of, it created a lot of devastation for a lot of people. And without that global reset, I don't know if I would be in a reboot.
Okay.
Like, to be able to take a break without having to explain myself,
right,
or defend myself, or feeling like I was letting people down.
Yeah.
That part was a gift. That particular piece of it was a gift. I understand that, and again, the pandemic was horrible in many, many ways, but for me, being able to not have to use that energy to defend myself, to defend my need for a break, was really helpful in me recalibrating.
I think that's a really important thing to even be aware of. Yes, it was horrible. And with that time for you personally, you were able to create space without defending, right? Because people, when you're an artist, people expect from you. They look for you. They feel like there's a part of what you do that belongs to them. Yeah. And so there's that built in. I'm so glad you said that.
I was completely happy being a mentor and a coach. I was completely happy. Oh, maybe I'll write a couple songs and try to get some sync placements or do some coaching. Completely happy with that, or so I thought. But with that break and with the ability to rethink and to reimagine, I got inspired. I got inspired listening to young artists. I got inspired listening to my friends who were still doing their thing. I got inspired listening to new music. And so I was like, oh, maybe I can do this. And I will admit the wisdom of getting older and the wisdom of actually sort of coming from a mindset of liberation and being like, I can actually free myself and do this the way I want to do it, in a way that's sustainable, in a way that matters to me, like, and not worry about what people want or what people feel they're entitled to, or what I need to do in order to be hot, right? It ain't hot, then it ain't hot, but it feels good to me. And what I learned in 25 years is that it matters whether or not it feels good to you.
Yeah, to even be in tune with that.
It matters. And so this reboot in this new era, this new wave of music and creation for me is about all the lessons that I learned for 25 plus years and the lessons that I learned in the time I took off. And it is a combining of those two in how I show up now.
I'm very excited. And you've mentioned a few different ways, like the gift of the time, the wisdom, the understanding coming with it. And so I think one of the things that I appreciate you talking about, and I feel like we're seeing a shift in the language people use, but all the benefits of getting to continue to live, right? I think we talk about aging as like a decline, but we abandon all the benefits of being here for a while, what you've seen. So I'm thinking, when we think of aging, especially as an artist, especially as someone who you are in front of people and you're vulnerable, you open yourself up to the gaze interpretation of others, how else has growing and time been a benefit to you as an artist?
Growing in time has been a benefit to me because I realized that you can do all the things in all the ways and it could still not work and you're still okay. Yeah.
That's great. So that confidence.
You're still okay. It actually builds you more confidence. I will say sometimes you look back with a little bit of regret and go, I knew that wasn't the right decision. Yeah. I knew that wasn't going to get me any further ahead, but I did it anyway. What I love is biopics, but rockumentaries. Like I love watching any band that has a rockumentary. I will watch it.
You watch it, okay?
Because inevitably there will be a moment in there where somebody didn't believe in the thing that they were doing, and then they did it and it worked, or somebody didn't believe in the thing that they were doing and it failed, but they learned from it and they were able to pivot. Or create or do something differently. And so I think it's important to have I think it's important to have regrets. Yeah. I think it's also important to have enough time to do something that you can learn from it without having to depend on all the voices and all the people. Like I think the wisdom of being able to look back and go, oh, I took that advice and here's what happened, and I didn't take that advice and here's what happened. I think the ability to be able to have the time to learn and look back on what you learned and how you grew and developed, I do think is a real gift.
Okay.
About how you're made and how you're built. Mm-hmm. I think that's super dope.
Oh, that's great. You said something that I'm still wrapping my mind around, that regrets are good. It's good to have some regrets.
I do think regrets are good.
Can you just say a little more about that for the people, help me.
I think I learned from regret.
Okay.
I think if you truly regret something, truly, right? I'm not talking about like performative regret. When you truly regret something, I think it's an opportunity to examine it, to examine why you did the thing you did. Maybe there were people involved or a situation involved, and like to understand where the decision came from. I think there's an opportunity for examination there.
Okay.
And I think people need to spend a lot more time being reflexive and thinking about, why do I do what I do?
Mm-hmm. That is useful.
It is useful, and that's why regret is useful.
Okay.
Because you don't get to examine why you do what you do if you don't have regrets.
If you don't have regrets. Okay.
If everything always works out and you're like, I did that and it worked out.
Yeah.
You're probably less likely to examine it. Mm-hmm. Maybe some will, but you're probably less likely to examine it if you aren't actually experiencing regret.
Okay. Now I hear you. I'm just thinking kind of the suffering that happens with regret, like the embarrassment, the discomfort. Yeah. Okay.
I don't know that you have to suffer.
Okay. Should I lay down?
I would.
This isn't about me.
Yeah.
So at another time we'll revisit.
We can talk about suffering. I have lots of thoughts around suffering and whether or not we should engage, and whether or not that's useful.
Right. And I may be dramatically assigning suffering to some experience. Another time we'll visit.
I feel like it's examining. I think if you're examining, that's different than suffering.
Okay. That's fair.
Yeah.
I like it. Some other time I'm making a mental note. We're going to talk about this.
We will.
Maybe off camera.
We will.
So has there been any part of your career journey that has been that you or anyone else could have predicted? Like, has there been anything like along this journey that is like, oh, I knew this would happen, or somebody said this is what's going to happen for you, or has it all been a surprise?
I don't know what other people think, or what other people could have predicted. I think I could have predicted that the relationships that I have, I think are good. I think for the most part, anyone that I have worked with or has worked with me, done a favor, gave me a little discount on studio time, gave me a discount on services, or just looked out. I think I could predict that I am in good relationship with folks. I think that, because that was a priority for me, and very important. That's
not an accident. That's not something that just
wasn't
comes
an
together.
accident. It was 100% intentional to make sure that anybody that I've ever worked with or engaged with felt cared for and respected by me, and could still call me. Now, that doesn't mean that I haven't had falling outs and disagreements and things, and that I haven't hurt people.
Yeah. That's honest.
I think 100% I have. I think sometimes, when you have a vision and you are committed to that vision and other people aren't, sometimes you have to part ways, and sometimes people don't always get that, and it doesn't always feel good. And I don't regret that, but I think that I could have predicted my reputation. For being a person that shows up and does what she says she's going to do.
That's awesome.
And does her best.
That's awesome.
I think that's what I could have predicted.
That's awesome. And what you're naming here is something we don't leave to chance. Like, we don't get to decide who we cross paths with, but we get to decide how we show up, right? This is good. You got some wisdom. You could teach this stuff. Did I hear you did some coaching also? Wonderful. So as we think about it, I know you part of this reboot has also been prioritizing how you feel first, like higher up.
100%.
So including you, who else's opinion matters about this art?
That's a really good question, right? Because you have to tell yourself time and time again, my opinion is the only thing that matters, right? There's so many really great producers and performers that I hear who say, like, you have to love it and just make sure you love it and don't focus on who else loves it. And then, like, you know, and do your thing. Who else needs to love it?
Or whose opinion matters?
Or whose opinion matters.
Or does anyone else's opinion matter?
I think what I've learned is that you have to find your people.
All right.
So it can't be that everyone's opinion matters. It has to be that you do your thing, and then the people that it resonates with finds you.
Yeah.
And then y'all do your thing together.
Right.
And you vibe.
Right.
And so I think quality matters. I think intention matters. I think process matters. But I'm really at the point where, and I don't want to say that opinion doesn't matter, because I'm human.
Well,
I'm a regular chick,
right?
Human.
And perhaps that question was leading, because it's an assumption that, like, I know, but also, right?
I think I want people who I love and respect to like what I do.
Yeah.
And if they don't, if it's just because it's not for them, cool. If it's because they're like, you sound horrible, what are you writing about, what are you talking about, right? If it's something that they just don't get, then I think that's okay. I think I'm learning to have space for people to not love what I do, because one of the things that I learned in a different area of work is that you don't focus on the people who aren't there, you focus on the people who are.
Yeah.
And so when you start focusing on the people who are there,
yes, that's
the experience and the vibe and the fulfillment is incredible. And there are people who are feeling what I'm doing, and there are people who aren't.
Yeah.
And those who aren't but wish me well,
right.
Cool, thank you.
Cool
in a gang.
Right.
Because I know there's so much that is out in the world that doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
But I'm not hating on anybody.
Right.
I'm not mad that they're doing the thing that they're doing.
Right.
It's just not working for me.
It's not for me. Right.
And so I'm focused on the people who like what I do.
Great.
And I don't have to, you know, I don't have to give them a gimmick. I don't have to give them, I don't have to trick them into liking what I'm doing, that they are genuinely, they heard it, it resonates, it connects.
Yeah. And
yes.
So I'm curious. So for those who may be meeting you for the first time, they're like, who this girl on my screen right now? Who this I'm listening to? If you wanted to introduce someone to your music, what song would you want me to play for them first?
So right now, I think the song that I'm really most proud of and feeling is it's a tie between the two. Can I give two? I'm gonna give two.
Give two.
So right now, oh man, there might be three. Okay, all right. I really right now, Choose You is the latest single, which and the reason why I think that song is because it is genuinely, I wrote it from a place of love about it was written for someone I love about their love. So it feels a little meta for me. And so writing it, and I actually, this was the first song that I did the music myself for, that I wrote the melody for, and I had never in years past. So again, part of this reboot is me writing my own music.
Yeah. So you're stretching as an artist.
You're
not just up here singing. You are building the song from scratch, girl.
In the basement, in the demo dungeon, experimenting, playing, doing all kinds of things. I have help from my friends, 100%. I am not a solo in this part. I have lots of help from my musician friends who are supporting me and teaching me and showing me. Or I'll give them like a demo idea and then they build on it and make it bigger. You know, they help me see it in a way that I didn't see it, because there are some incredible musicians. But Choose You, Humanity is really meaningful to me, which I dropped after the murder of George Floyd, which and I mentioned this before at past performances that back in the day, I used to judge myself for not writing. I write a lot of love songs. Most of my songs are about personal, specifically romantic relationships. Most of them are about that. That's what I know. That is my archetype. I am the lover.
For sure.
And so I write a lot of songs about that because I think there's so many different ways to experience it. And I've observed different kinds of love. I've been in different kinds of love. And so it's what I know. So it's what I write about. In this particular song, and I used to judge myself for not like having this political pen, right? For not being able to be like, write more meaningful stuff with my pen. And it wasn't authentic and wasn't to me until this song, until Humanity. And when I woke up, and a lot of the work that I do outside of music is actually in social justice.
Okay.
And so, when that happened, I was actually awakened with lyrics. Like it wasn't something that I sat down to do.
Like you didn't say, I'm going to create a song about this.
It was just,
it came to you.
It really didn't.
Okay.
It was probably about 3:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
It literally felt like a tap on the shoulder. Wake up, you got to write this down.
Okay.
And I did. I keep a pen and pad in a drawer.
My next question was about your process.
Yeah, I keep a pen and pad in my drawer. And I woke up and I wrote these words down, these lyrics down. I hummed really quietly into my phone a melody because my partner was sleeping and I didn't want to wake her up.
How considerate.
I don't know why I didn't just get up and leave the room.
Well, you was comfortable in the
so
bed.
comfortable.
You didn't want to all the way wake up.
I was so comfortable.
It's like when you go to the bathroom, you keep your eyes kind of closed.
Yeah, and writing by cell phone light too.
Right.
I should have just got up. Like I should have just got up. But and I'm humming this melody into my phone and writing these lyrics in my pad. And then the next morning I went downstairs and I recorded them. I recorded them just a cappella to a click track. And then I sent it. This was actually, obviously during COVID, and I sent it to my bandmates. And the best part about that process is we weren't all in the same room for that song. I sent it to my bandmates. So first the drummer put down drums.
I love technology.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
So I just sent these a cappella lyrics to my bandmates. The drummer, Dexter, put down the drums. Then he gave it to Wayne. Wayne put down the keys and some other auxiliary instruments. Then we sent it. He put down the bass as well. Then we sent it to Dave, and he threw in the sax. And then we had it mixed and mastered by, I believe, a gentleman named Alex. And then that song came about. We were never all in the same room.
Yeah.
But everybody was.
It's like potluck.
But it was, the whole thing was led by the lyrics.
Okay.
So they heard the lyrics
That's
first.
Beautiful.
So everyone wrote what they felt from the lyrics.
That's beautiful. And is that song like an outlier as far as the process from
I think it
concept to?
I think it is for
product.
me.
Okay.
I don't know if it is for other artists, but it's not a thing I had ever done before. I actually quite liked the process. It was hella efficient.
Yeah.
But yeah, those two, and then I'm releasing a song hopefully in the next few months that I wrote 20 years ago that I've rewritten with some friends, added some things, a new composer, a new singer who I love and respect, called Look to the Sky, which is a song that is actually I wrote for my sisters when I was younger, who I felt like they were just struggling and suffering with like
life.
Yeah, just life. And I don't even want to get into it because I think when people hear it, I want them to take from it what they need to take from it. I don't want to tell them what they should hear,
right? Because
I think it can fit in many different situations. So I'm really in love with that song right now too. And then I feel like I've taken a long time to answer this question, but because I feel like there's so many things now too that I'm writing that are in my catalog that I'm really excited to release. So, but if you were learning me and you were meeting me, I think Choose You, Humanity, and Look to the Sky would essentially sum up who I am.
Okay.
I think
so people know what to play first. Go ahead and load that up.
Yeah, I think I care about love and relationships. I think I care about social justice and humanity, the way we treat people, and I think I care about mental and emotional health. I mean, those are the things.
You done wrapped it. You done kind of summed up.
Did I?
You did.
Did I?
You did. You answered that well, Char. You answered that well. So there are people who we don't have to introduce to your music. Like they know it. They got it.
Oh,
it's in rotation.
Listen, I am so fortunate as an independent artist to have had a 25 plus year career and people who really ride and support me, especially coming from a small town in New England. You know, I mean, I'm so grateful. I'm from Hartford, Connecticut area, right? Greater Hartford. And in the 90s, everyone was moving to Atlanta. And
Atlanta was the Mecca.
If you are Black and you want to sing music, you better move to Atlanta.
Yeah, why are you here?
I had opportunities to move to New York, to move to Boston, to move to Atlanta, to move to LA. And I gotta tell you, I mean, I get it, and I get that that's what everybody was doing, and that if you wanted to make it, that's what you were supposed to do. And I don't regret not moving.
Okay.
I don't regret being able to, the career and the things that I was able to do here in this place.
Oh my gosh.
With the support.
The community.
Of the community, not only the community, but the business owners, the people who let me come in, and not only come in, but come in and be real loud and gay and Black.
Come on. Because let's not act like that is welcome everywhere, right? People don't want it.
Not in the 90s.
Right.
Not even now.
Yeah. Right.
But they let me do me, and they let me have fun.
Yeah.
And I really sometimes, that's why I often think about myself as like a cabaret act.
Yeah.
Like I love a small room.
For sure. You work a room. Baby, you work a room.
Well.
You work a room.
I love a small room.
Yeah.
I love to be able to connect with people. I like to be able to be silly. I like to be able to just have fun. And I think people think because of the kind of music that I sing that I'm always a serious person. And and I, you know, I'm also a woman of the world who understands that we have serious concerns and things that we need to think about. And
I mean, until they experience you live, I think when people are in the room with you, they're like, right. Wait, we get it, right?
I think that I agree. I think that I don't translate well digitally.
I think there's a part of you that translates, right?
Do you?
I think what's missing is the comedy. Like I have had more kick my feet, screaming, crying laughs with you on the other side, and I'm just pointing at you or you're pointing at me and they're cackling. I don't even know the joke, but I have like 5 solid memories of that, how funny you are. And I think the funny also, it endears you to the room. Like if you can make people laugh, it gives the room something. It adds to the overall experience. So I really encourage people who have not experienced Charmagne before to find you in the room. So with your diehard fans, we know Beyonce has the Beehive, Taylor has the Swifties. Do you have a nickname for the people? I have some ideas.
Oh, I would love to hear some ideas. I don't have any nicknames. I have actually been encouraged to create a Facebook group for these folks.
Okay.
And I don't know what to call people because I'm not gonna lie, it feels a little weird. It feels a little cultish. But I know that that's like the way marketing works, right? Which is also a huge challenge of mine. But I think I don't know. I don't know what I would call. I don't know what I would call people.
I just have a couple ideas.
Okay.
The Lucky Chars, the Lucky Chars.
Ooh,
Lucky Chars.
The Lucky Chars.
Or the main squeezes. Oh, that's for free. That's free.
Oh, you just
that's
giving
free.
me that?
The main squeeze. That's free. That's free. That's on the house.
Listen,
that's on the house.
Because that speaks to the lover in me.
Right? The main squeezes, right? And you can play with the main, right? Main,
100%. My first album was Cafe on Main. Oh,
look at what we did. Look at what we've done. Look at what we've done. Go ahead. You're welcome. Okay. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Okay.
You're welcome.
I'm in my, I give big auntie energy.
Big auntie energy.
Big auntie energy.
Let's talk about that. What does that even mean?
I have been an auntie for longer than I haven't.
Okay.
I lead with auntie energy.
Okay.
I lead with,
which is love and protection, right?
Is what I tell myself. And then sometimes I think it can feel like judgment or something different. And that's not what I'm actually intending on doing. Right. What I want to be in the world, to be honest, Lynnette, is the person that I needed. Right? Okay. I want to be a person who can hold space.
Yeah.
Can create space for belonging, can create space for correction, encouragement. And it's not that I have the answers. I think 100% I don't have all the answers, but I want to be able to I want to be able to hold space for people. That's really what it is. But I think the auntie energy that I bring to my art and to my creative space, I think that energy is the community that we build.
Okay.
And so that same auntie energy that I lead with, I think in my personal relationships, I think I lead in the culture that I create around my music.
How do you like your feedback?
Talk to me nice.
Talk to you nice. Yeah, absolutely.
Talk to me. You can be direct, but talk to me nice.
Universally, that's the safe way to go. Yeah. When we don't know, what I have discovered, put some sugar on it.
Yeah, put some sugar on it. And I gotta admit, I'm often guilty of being sugar free.
Oh, interesting.
This is the examining. These are the examining these regrets of being like, ooh, I didn't lead with sugar. I was sugar free. Can
you add sugar after
I don't know.
It's finished?
I try.
Okay.
I've tried.
All right.
I've tried, or I've tried to get better. But I am a really reactionary person. Okay. I think you've experienced
a little bit
this. I'm quick to just go, like, have a reaction. And so I'm, which is interesting because, a lot of my other work is about training people to pause.
Yeah. I also would describe you as very observant. You seem to be the person who notices the subtlety. Like if I do something silly, there could be 100 people in the room. I'll look up and you done synced it. So you do a lot of things well.
You think so?
I think so. We could run off a list. What's something you'd like to be better at?
Piano.
Ooh.
I'd like to be better at piano.
Is that something you're working on, or are we wishing on a star right now?
A big star.
Okay, cool.
I'd like to be better at piano. If I played piano, all bitches couldn't stop me.
It'd be done?
If I played or guitar.
Oh, guitar? Yeah. I feel like this is why I can't sing. It is my only area of envy.
There would be problems.
I understand.
We'd
be at brunch. Here comes Char.
Yeah, here I come with a guitar for no reason. No, I'd be like, can somebody help me bring in my piano?
Right.
You'd be like, you don't even have a gig here.
Right. No.
I'd be like, no, I'm going to bless the people. Quiet. I'd love to be a morning person.
Oh, what is that? Do you know any?
Not at the moment.
Okay.
I used to date a morning person, and
is it like genetic? Is it practice? Like what is that?
I don't know. I know two people who are morning, but my ex and my sister, one of my sisters is a morning person.
Yeah.
And I think like, wow, to be able to take advantage of the day like that.
Oh yeah. It's magical.
It is magical to be able to take advantage of the day. So that part, it takes me probably at the earliest to get ready to talk to someone or do something, 10 a.m.
It is ideal.
10 a.m.
10 a.m. is ideal.
I love a slow morning. I have slow mornings. And I'm up before 10 a.m., but I'm not actually ready to be a productive member of society before 10 a.m. Like a slow morning is my jam. Childless cat lady here.
I like
get
child
up.
Free.
Yeah, child free as opposed to less. Ooh, I like that wording. That's much better. That's much better. Child free by choice. Child free Catwoman here.
It's plenty.
But I love getting up in the morning. My cat and I, we watch the birds. We look out the window. We have coffee. We chat. We check in for the day. She goes off and takes her nap. I go off and do my work. We meet again in the afternoon. It's lovely. But I do need a slow morning for meditations, for walks, for stretching, just to get my mind right, because the world is wild.
The world is wild.
And you just can't open your eyes and go in the world.
I can't. I feel like people do that. I don't even know what they're doing, but people do that. And the world is wild. And I know you've mentioned your partner. How does love and partnership, how does that show up in what you create? What is that? What does that look like? I like talking about people like they ain't nowhere.
Yeah.
And ain't close. I like that.
Yes, they are close. I actually this year will be married to my beloved Tiana for 10 years. 10 years, yes.
10 years?
10 years.
I was there. I didn't realize
there.
it was 10 years ago, though.
You were there. We've been together for 16. It's been amazing. She is an amazingly supportive partner, super funny, can bring levity to any situation, which I need.
It's a gift.
It is a gift, especially because the world is wild.
That's what brought the question. Like, I didn't even have that question down. I was like, the world is wild. How nice to have some anchor.
It is. It really is. And I gotta tell you, I married the right person for me, and I think that part is really important. Our relationship actually, because of how good it is, because of how fulfilling it is, because of how stable it is, because of how much I trust it and I trust us and I trust her, actually allows my creativity to flow freely. It actually allows me to try things and to do things without this like external distraction of not being in a healthy partnership. Right? I know there are some artists who actually love being
the drama and strife.
The drama, because they write their best stuff.
Listen, come on, Mary J.
I get it. Yes.
We like when her feelings is hurt.
Yeah.
It's a hit.
A hit. But for me, I appreciate the peace and love that is in my home. Yeah.
And you write love music.
I do write love music. Yeah. And I think that, like, you know, even if there's peace and happiness in your home, you can still have like deep thoughts about, you know, conflict and disagreement and pain, but also I have enough source material about that I don't actually really need that in my present. She's also an artist. She's a comedic writer, very funny woman. And so she gets, I think we don't always get each other's art in the same way, but she gets music.
She does.
I don't always get comedy.
Okay.
I don't always get it.
You'd be like, I
was like, I don't understand why that was funny. And then she has to tell me, and then she's like, well, now I had to tell you, so now it's not funny.
Okay.
It's not for you. It's one of her favorite lines for me.
For you. It sounds like this isn't for
you.
you.
I don't think this is for you.
This is for you.
This is not for you. So, so I accept it and I move on.
True.
But she gets music.
Okay.
I mean, she really gets music. So her opinion is actually important to me.
That's great.
What she thinks about what it is that I'm doing.
That's great.
But because she knows me. Yeah. And she often knows what I'm trying to convey and what I want to say and communicate. And she can be like, that's not authentic. Who are you influenced by? Who did you listen to? Who did you listen to this week? And now you're trying to write like them.
Right, stop
and
playing.
I'm like,
oh,
delete.
True, right? Somebody can help you course correct.
Delete this song.
So if people want to find you, they want to find your merch, they want to see a show, they want to hear you, where can they discover more of Miss Charmagne? Yeah,
they can find me at Singing Charm. Singing Charm is how it's spelled, but Charm, singing CHARM. Also CharmagneTripp.com, which will be in the link of this. I am hoping to release a lot of really fun and great projects this year that will invite folks in. Again, if you like feel good music, if you like auntie energy music, if you are grown and about this and ready to have a soundtrack for that.
We're ready.
Are we ready?
We're ready.
Let's go. There are plenty. There are plenty out there, and I'm not in competition with anybody. I just want to invite you in.
There's room for more.
There's room for more. Invite you into what we're doing over here.
Charmagne, this has been amazing.
Lynnette, stop. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for this.
It's really and truly my pleasure. Really my pleasure. Really my pleasure. We could do this all day, honestly.
I don't want nobody else asking me questions.
Just me, okay.
Can nobody else?
Because I will get in your business.
Yeah, can nobody else ever ask a question? But we're going to sign this contract right after we're done. Put it in writing. I don't care if Oprah calls. I don't care.
Slow down.
Slow down. You're right. No, that is fair. This is what happened. I told you I'm impulsive.
You get excited. I'm impulsive, and this is why you have people.
It was my excitement to show you love that I overcorrected.
Received.
I overcorrected.
And Oprah paid no attention. She was high on energy.
Auntie Oprah, please call me.
Yeah, call us both.